welcome. I believe it is day 5 or 4. Not totally sure, but we're just gonna go ahead and get started with our market breakdown. So just go ahead and jump out to the 4-hour chart on both of our charts here. See, we are within a 1-hour gap from yesterday. The 4-hour time frame, we're in a 4-hour gap as well. Not much here on the 4-hour chart. I had 8 donuts yesterday and I feel like crap. Today. Sometimes I don't know why I do this to myself. Not sometimes, all the time. I don't know why I do this to myself. I feel terrible, but ES actually mitigated this hourly gap yesterday on Friday. This is our first time hitting this gap on NQ, so I don't know if it's going to be pertinent for today. Let's go ahead and drop down to the 30-minute and see what we got cooking up on this though. Have a 30-minute gap up here. Still don't know if it's gonna be totally relevant, but I'm just gonna mark it out anyway. So we just tapped into a 30 on NQ actually. This is weird. There's a lot of things conflicting right here. All things point to down though, I will say that, but just from which zone do we reject off of is the question I need answered. Let's go ahead and drop down to 15. No reason to spend a whole lot of time on here. 15-minute, there's nothing here but low resistance liquidity. Check our sessions. I've already checked this earlier today, so I know we have SMT at London lows. We have SMT right here, along with low resistance liquidity that we generated. Going to go take out London highs. So we'll drop down to the 5-minute to see if we have any lows resting here. Yeah, my stomach hurts. So let's go drop down to the 5-minute and see how much low resistance liquidity we generated. So we're within a 30-minute gap. I would like to see ES maybe come take this out. Maybe, I don't know. But we generated a healthy amount of low resistance liquidity throughout here. We got these lows, those lows right there, and then we're also leaving a 930 low, it seems like. So the opening price low. So maybe we'll draw to that later in the day. Not totally sure just yet. But it's clear that we have relative equal lows at London. So let's go ahead and mark that out. We're going to mark out these are London lows. And do the same thing for here. And I'm gonna have to use a bathroom, bro. Ugh, what's wrong with me, dude? Why'd I eat 6 donuts by myself, bro? I'm about to throw up just thinking about it. I'm about to throw up just thinking about it, boy. Can't lie. Alright, so we are starting to reject here. Inverse the 2-minute. Do we have a 15 or a 5 to even target? But inside that 5-minute gap, we could take like a little weak short like this. Take a little weak short, maybe it'll work out. But inside this 4-minute gap on ES though, I'd like to see how we react off this 4-minute right here. We might actually get a setup a lot earlier than I anticipated. So go to the 5. We actually have a 5-minute that technically we would have to wait to inverse, but we definitely have to watch out for this 4-minute. So even though we inverse the 2 and the 1, the entry would be a little bit premature, even though I definitely don't mind the shorts right here, especially after we have all this built up all throughout here. So all this trend line liquidity. All of this trend line liquidity. Let's check the higher time frame, see what we're looking at. Oh, 15-minute gap right here as well. $15-minute gap right here as well. Sweep out London highs. Target this sweep out London highs. We tapping into a 15-minute gap. Potentially a reversal back down to London lows, or definitely take out just some of this low resistance liquidity right here. That's good. Have this 5-minute inverse now on ES, but we're starting to get a SMT at these highs right here and at these highs, and we are within this huge gap on ES or on NQ. But yeah, if we would have took this 1 minute like a goofball, probably would have closed already. Maybe, maybe. So yeah, I actually have to keep an eye out on this, because if we inverse the 5 on ES and we can get an inverse on maybe this, I feel more comfortable with the 4-minute. I feel more comfortable if we inverse the 4-minute on NQ. If we can inverse the 4-minute on NQ as well, and inverse this 5 on ES, we would go break even after ES takes these lows right here, or these lows, because that first low is kind of close. But one of these two though, for sure. Oh, my stomach. Oh. My stomach. So it's looking like we're gonna start getting a breakdown here. And even if we do get these shorts, I don't think there's anything stopping price from drawing all the way down back to these lows right here. So we're about to inverse this 3-minute. A couple of seconds. Inverse that 3-minute. Alright, good. We broke back up, so there's no need to rush or worry about this. So, hindsight being 2020 right now, So hindsight being 2020 right now, it's risky to short within this 3-minute gap. I think we have to wait for this 4-minute. We have to. 5 minutes is pretty large, but we definitely have to wait for this 4-minute now, especially since we were just rejected from there. So we have to wait for this 4-minute to confirm. Have to wait for it for confirmation. If we drop through 50% of this gap and close under there, we should have a higher probability of definitely running towards all of these lows. We just can't be here too early. Can't be here too early. So if anything, we'd probably take something like this. Maybe it stops at the high of the candle, and then just wait for either ES or NQ to retap London lows. Definitely our break-even point would be right here. 100%. But we're within a 15-minute gap on NQ. No imbalances, but definitely some low resistance liquidity to target, because there's nothing higher other than the rest of these internal draws and fair value gaps. But definitely think we're going to draw towards old lows first. It's going to be a lot to get through all of these gaps right here. If you get a rebreak of the highs, I might be able to use the bathroom though. But I'm gonna get off of here until we find our setup, but you guys understand what I'm looking for. All right, so we are looking like we were gonna inverse this. Looks like we're not anymore. What I did notice was we have an hourly gap down here. We have an hourly gap right here that I just noticed. So the highest time frame inversion on this would be the 4-minute, but at the time of inception that we saw this, it would have been the 3-minute, which we've already inversed. But yeah, I think now looking at this 5 minutes pretty much holding. This 5 minutes pretty much holding. Maybe we're not ready to go down just yet, but yeah, I thought I was about to pre-fire shorts here on NQ, but after looking at it a little bit more, definitely wouldn't want to do that. But now I know we have a decent target for where we want price at. To be about right there. So yeah, I'm gonna stop yapping because I thought we were gonna take a short right here, but yeah, not just yet. We have tried and tried and tried and tried to get an entry on this, but it's just not working. We have a lot of draws lower, but like I didn't say this earlier, but it is a no news Monday, so typically we do see just trends get created, liquidity get generated for Tuesday's coming markets, but there's absolutely nothing today. So right now it's 11. What time is it in New York right now? What is it? It's 11. Yeah, so I'm definitely gonna get off of this. I think this is day 5. I appreciate you guys for joining me, and I'll be back tomorrow.